Hello, Boca L readers. I have a story for you today, and it is titled 10 Beautiful Things. It's a story about Lily, and she is moving with her grandmother to live with her grandmother. So, this is a story of the changes happening in her life. She's a little nervous about moving. So, as they're going to grandma's house, they're noticing the beautiful things along the way. So let's get reading, and maybe you can think about beautiful things in your life as we're reading. 10 Beautiful Things. Lily ran her finger across the Iowa map. An X marked Graham's house on an empty patch of land, Lily's new home. Graham's car tires hummed against the pavement. Lily felt the vibration in her hollow chest. Let's try to find 10 beautiful things along the way, Graham said. Lily turned her eyes to the window. There's nothing beautiful here, she said. She struggled to fold the map so it nestled into herself just right. Oh, you'd be surprised, Graham said. Sure enough, at that very moment, the sun broke over the long horizon. Lily gasped. There's number one, she cried. Oh, you're right, Lily, Graham said. Yes, the sunrise can be beautiful every morning. Fence posts rushed past. Graham flipped on the radio, trying to fill the silence. Lily felt the complaints starting in her belly again, coming up her throat and nearly at her mouth. But then Graham shouted, Number two! A wind farm had sprouted in the field beside the freeway. Spinning windmill blades gleamed in the morning sun. Yes, in the West, you definitely see those big windmills. We don't have them as much here in Florida, but they are definitely a sight to see. Lily concentrated on the game and found number three real fast. A red-winged blackbird perched on a swaying stalk of last year's corn. It was dark and bright all at once. Its beak opened wide in a song so they couldn't hear. Yeah, sometimes birds can get kind of loud when they're singing. So definitely, if you see a bird out in nature, that could be a beautiful thing. Later, Graham signaled and turned the car onto a small road. Two more highways to go, she said. Lily popped a handful of crackers in her mouth, but food didn't fill up her hollow places. Graham cracked her window, and in rushed air and the sound and cold. They crossed a bridge, and Graham chose number four, the gurgly sound of a melting creek. Yeah, so people like that water sound. It can be relaxing, so that can be a beautiful thing. Lily dozed off. When she woke up, Graham tapped her knee and pointed out a falling apart barn. That's not pretty, Lily said. That can't count. Oh, we're not looking for pretty. We want beautiful, Graham said. So it stood halfway to 10. At a rest area, Lily bounced out of the car, and while Graham stretched her creaky body, Lily picked number 6. The smell of mud, she said, inhaling. Graham shut her eyes and nodded slowly. It's earthy and rich, she said. I've never really noticed. Lily breathed in the mud smell and focused on just that. It poured itself into some of her empty spaces. Back on the road again, the car seemed smaller. The humming in Lily had stopped, but her legs wanted to sprawl and her stomach was getting queasy. We're on a roll now, Graham said, and she was right about that. 7 and 8 were easy. A cloud shaped like a swan, and a little brown calf that's trotted beside the fence. Yeah, sometimes when you're on the interstate, you definitely see lots of cows on the side of the road and people's farms, and clouds are always interesting to see what kind of shapes they're going to make. Miles and miles later, they turned onto the last road, and the clouds began to draw close. The sky grew dark. The earth rumbled. Suddenly, the air exploded in bright flashes. Cloud banks traded lightning back and forth, showing off. "Number 9," Lily whispered. There was no room for other words. So, definitely, a lightning storm can be beautiful. The storm took up the whole world, and it filled Lily up too. She was here with Graham, and for a whole minute, that was all that mattered. So it looks like they had to pull off of the road because it was raining so hard. But they drove on. Almost there, not far now. When they'd been almost there for a long time, Graham braked, eased the car, and drove down a crumbling driveway and parked in front of a farmhouse. "Here we be," she said. "Though the drum of rain, home, but we made it to 9," Lily said, slumping in her seat. "Nope, 10 is easy." Graham came around with an umbrella, and Lily stepped out of the car. "We're 10," Graham said. Lily sank into her familiar hug. None of this was easy. Maybe it'll never be easy, but she belonged with Graham now, and she belonged here now. So number 10 is their family, their little family that they're going to make together. I love this story about finding beautiful things, even when she's not happy because she's moving homes, but she can still find the beauty around her. That's a wonderful message. This place wasn't empty, and neither was she. Remember at the beginning of the story, she's like, "There's nothing where you live, it's just empty farmland." But she has changed throughout the story, finding these beautiful things. Well, I hope you like this story, Boca El Eagles, and now I want you to think about some beautiful things in your life.